There we go. Oh, sorry. All right. Okay.
Bam.
Popping the Dos Equis can. Welcome to Digital Cortex. My name's Steven. We got Random Styles, as you know. And then we have a special guest today is my father.
Hello.
Frank the Tank.
What up, Frank?
How's it going?
Going good.
Great. Thank you for inviting me over here today.
Easy like that. There you go.
Yeah. Very special.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, we had a special day that we all celebrated.
Yes, that's right. Recently, I got married last week.
Yeah.
So, my dad was in town for the wedding. It was beautiful, if I do say so myself. And it was a lot of fun. I hear people enjoyed themselves a lot. So,
yes, they did. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was an amazing wedding.
Yeah.
I enjoyed everything all the way down to the cake.
and I still have cake left.
Oh, wow.
It's cake, the top tier cake. But, you're supposed to freeze it is what you're supposed to do, I guess. But we weren't going to freeze it. We just, do we really want to eat frozen cake like a year from now?
That's a tradition, right?
It's a tradition, but I don't know. I don't care for it.
Did you guys do it, Frank? Did you guys?
It was... Yeah, I got a story for you. Anyways, when we got married, we took that last piece of cake, which was top all pretty and everything. We stuffed it in the freezer, and it was there for about maybe 6 months. I'm going in the freezer getting some meat out, and I look at the cake, and I'm going, it's a pretty nice cake. I wonder if it's, how hard it is. So I went to, to feel it out, and I turned it, and somebody had put their hands to the back and hollowed the cake and left just the shell of it.
Whoa.
They left the shell of the frosting?
Yeah, we know who it was. It was my ex-wife's niece.
No way.
Yeah.
She saw that cake and went to town.
I didn't even get a taste
eating
of that
it frozen.
cake.
Just how long was she just digging in the freezer and pulling it out?
Oh, she probably took about 2 days to hollow that thing out.
Damn.
Do you think she started right away when she saw it in there, or do you think it was like it was weeks into it and she discovered it?
It must have been. I couldn't tell you. It could have been months into it.
Just what if it was months and she just little piece by little piece by
started scraping and just digging it out.
Yeah,
because it was perfectly hollowed, so
That
it had to be frozen.
I bet that's exactly what happened. It just happened over the course of like weeks or months.
It's a small little.
Because was she there all the time, or did she just come and visit occasionally?
She was there occasionally. That's her Aunt Tracy, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense, I guess.
So every time she came, she's like,
She's probably just pulling some cake apart.
Yeah. She must have been hungry.
She got 2 scoops this time.
Yeah.
She got 2.
There you go. Yeah. That's probably exactly what happened.
How much to the edge of the frosting? Was it completely like the cake was gone?
Just like I said, it was beautifully hollowed. I mean, it was a work of art.
That's awesome.
A work of art.
I'm serious. I should have kept it because it was funny. It was funny. I mean, it was.
You could trick
turn
somebody.
it around and it was like it looked like I don't know, like a mouse would come out there. How how they sneak their heads out, and so the doorway was like that. So the hand went inside it and just scooped everything out and hollowed it completely all the way down to the frosting.
You got to speak this way.
Yes, I apologize.
Yeah. I know he's over there, but our mic setup is we got to share this.
I think it'll level it. It'll level it.
I'll take a picture of it and put it right here.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I took
just
one.
Just start FaceTime with them.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
the hollow cake.
I guess before we begin, I know that the last 2 episodes have been like part 1, part 2, and this is supposed to be a part 3 of like a high school adventure, but that's probably going to come next week.
Yeah, we can do that later.
So anybody thinking that's going to happen, skip to next week's if you're like so far in the future.
Or just keep listening.
They're gonna, but they're just going to know like, get through the whole episode and they didn't even speak about part 3, and I was really hoping to know what happened in 10th grade.
Yeah, we were doing anthology episodes.
Yeah, we were doing an anthology of my theater career.
You could start.
What do you remember about Steve's theater time? Like when he started getting real into it, and you're like watching him walk out with like a dragon costume or something. You're like, where are you going? Like, did he ever wear weird costumes?
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I see pictures of his acting, and he was also the costume, he's a designer, seamstress, whatever you call it, lead actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was really into his acting. He's really good.
Yeah,
he was really into it. He portrayed a lot of different people, and I think he did one was Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah, he was telling me about that.
Actually made people cry.
Yeah,
it actually made some people cry in the audience.
That's awesome. If you can generate an emotion,
when you can make people cry, it's pretty good.
He was crying.
People were into it. Into the show, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
If you believe what you're doing, people read that. You know,
you have to work off the energy of the audience, and if you don't give them anything, they can't give you anything.
So do you think that's like an advantage for theater actors? Because with movie actors, they don't have a audience. They have to generate that from nothing.
I would say yes and no, because like for theater actors, you're playing off of the audience as best you can. You go out there and you do your thing, and you're doing it with like just the one take. Really.
Yeah, that's the pressure.
In film, it's all about the director's vision. They want to see what they want to see. And if it takes them like one take to do it, good, great, perfect. If it's like takes them 15 takes, they got to redo the scene 15 times because they're just not getting what they wanted that scene to be in their mind or something.
Yeah.
Like some of them will do it.
I hear Christopher Nolan is notorious for that one takes. Like, you're just going to get one chance at it, and we're going to record it, and that's it. And we're going to move on. Clint
Eastwood would be the guy.
He would do
one
that.
Takes, and he's been known for that because, I mean, he did takes, but if it was that one take that was perfect, that was it. Move on.
Yeah, I think Tarantino does a lot of that, too. And, like, there's stories about, what's his name? God, I can't think of the director now, but there's another one that does that, too. Where one actor stopped him. I was like, "How come? Can we do it? I feel like we can do it again." Who directed the Saving Private Ryan? That was
Cameron.
No,
no, it was Steven Spielberg, right?
Steven Spielberg, yes, yeah. So it was Matt Damon. He was like, he did the take. It was, I think, one of the takes on the bridge scenes where they were on that bridge and they're trying to cross over.
Right.
Yeah, he did the scene, and then they were like, all right, let's move on. And they were moving all the stuff, and then he went up to Steven. He was like, hey, I think, can we do another one? I think we can I can do it better. And then Steven's like, how much more do you think that'll add to the overall movie? Like maybe 3%, 10%, like at the most. Like, he's like, I'd rather go get another good shot over there and not waste everybody's time, you know, like,
right.
He just wanted to move on. He's like, we got it. Let's go. Like, because I think sometimes some directors get caught in that thing, like what you're saying. They want perfection and they want the scene exactly how they pictured it.
Yeah.
And then you're just chasing that, and you're using a lot of time and resources. There's so many people out there, you know, holding stuff and mics and moving things and building, and, you know, they got time, you know, but they need to devote their time to the right resources, you know. But
I think that's what they said about Clint Eastwood, that he knew when it was good enough to move on. And that's what made him a good director, you know, because he worked well as the actor, and then he also was an actor himself.
I think that's why you see a lot of directors using the same actors too, because they already know each other. Like, I'm going to do this and you're going to do that, and we know how this is going to work. And I think it's easier to do that than always bringing in new people and having to like go through that like unfamiliar phase and then learn each other and then become comfortable. You know,
Adam Sandler.
He does it. He does. Yeah. He's
a good director, and he hits the right spots. And
he just got the Mark Twain. He got the Mark Twain Award.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. They just did that. They had like Rob Schneider talking, and like a bunch of actors went up there and like talked about their time with Adam, and Yeah, they did a whole thing with him. So that was cool. But yeah, he doesn't stop. He just came out with another movie, Murder Mystery 2. Yeah,
he did?
Yeah, the second one.
I didn't know that.
Second one's either it came out or it's coming out. I'm good. I have one right here. They're taking rips while I'm talking about Murder Mystery 2.
I can't even remember if I saw Murder Mystery 1.
Yeah.
We found that strain, by the way.
Yeah, you sent it to me. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
I had to buy a whole pen for it, too.
Was it a sativa or an indica? You don't remember?
I think it was sativa.
That would make sense. He kind of activates your mind a little bit more. Like, he gets you going. He's good.
Yeah, I can tell.
So what do you think about Adam Sandler's movies that he comes out with on Netflix?
I always thought they were kind of like stupid.
They're just like, family movies. They're supposed to be meant to, like he said, they're meant to watch with your kids. You know that you can put an Adam Sandler movie on and everybody can watch it.
You're talking to the man that watches everything. Yeah. Like, you know how, like, you'll get the most random fucking you've never heard of this or anybody in it kind of movie suggested to you. He already saw it 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Like Adam Sandler. I mean, I like his movies. They're all sort of different, but they always do the same characters. And you kind of look forward to finding those characters or finding the actors that playing the character. Yeah. And like a lot of his sayings on movies come out, like "You can do it," and what was the other one that he used?
I mean, his early movies, I remember gravitating to them a lot as a kid.
Happy
like
Gilmore.
Little Nicky, Happy Gilmore. There was Waterboy for sure.
Waterboy has classic lines.
So classic.
No, you're wrong, Mr. Colonel Sanders. Remember that? He's got these like sayings. So.
Mama said.
Yeah, my mama. He's just stuttering the whole time trying to say my mama said.
Yeah,
that was a good movie. I still put it on and watch it.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, can you not say you haven't completed an Adam Sandler movie?
They're usually watchable.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think I've ever turned them off halfway or anything.
Or come back to it.
He's doing some serious ones now, too. He did Uncut Gems.
He did do that, but I did not see it.
See, I don't... Okay.
You don't care for that?
You don't want serious.
I never walked away from one.
Okay, that's the one. He
caught himself.
I think I did. We're just blowing up people's ears.
Oh yeah. I think it'll still level it.
I guess I think it picks up more in this mode. That's the thing. Like,
if you set it for dual use. Yeah. That makes sense.
I'm just destroying it. I don't know. I don't know. I can't look and talk at the same time, so I have no idea where they are.
Oh, your levels are okay.
They're all right?
Yeah.
Okay, I turned down the gain just a tiny bit. But I guess you don't need to get as close to it. You just got to be pointed at it.
It's picking you guys up pretty good. I can hear both of you guys good.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened with Uncut Gems? You started watching it, and then you're like...
I just... Didn't catch my attention. Or maybe
it started out slow.
Yeah.
I hear it's good. I think you just have to get through that like slow stage, and then you get like there's a lot of basketball players in it. Like,
did he write and direct that one too, or was that part of his production company or whatnot? Does he even have? Yeah, he does. He has Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, the Happy Sandler.
Yeah. Oh, that's his product. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Happy
Madison. Happy Madison.
There you go.
It's Happy Gilmore and then Billy Madison.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, he has. Did somebody hit a golf ball before they started the movie on Uncut Gems? Do you remember? That's his
signature, isn't it?
Yeah, that's his
production company.
We could probably look it up, but it doesn't matter. Anyways,
I heard that he just liked to do movies and go to exotic locations, just so him and his friends can have vacations.
Yeah. He takes his whole family.
Yeah.
His whole crew.
Yeah. He takes his family every single time. Why do you think they film in Hawaii? They film in Hawaii so many times because he's like, I'm gonna also on my days off have a vacation. Like, I can hang out with you guys. We can go do this or that or whatever, snorkeling, you know.
Vacation.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jennifer Aniston.
I mean, yeah.
With Jennifer Aniston, yeah. Because she's on the murder mystery, too. Yeah. And they just did that in Hawaii, I'm pretty sure. It looks like Hawaii.
You know what? I think I do remember the murder mystery one. I don't know. I can't remember anything right now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I didn't watch the first one. I got to watch the first one first. So that one I did miss. I haven't seen all his movies, but, you know, I've seen the majority of them, you know, and it's just...
Oh, speaking of, like, weird movies and shit, we just watched Cocaine Bear. Have you seen Cocaine Bear?
Ray Liotta's last movie.
Yes. Ray Liotta's last movie. Rest in peace. But it was great.
Yeah.
Well,
you liked it?
I mean, we were a little high, too. We waked and baked and...
Now I kind of been wanting cocaine here.
Everybody did cocaine in that movie. The kids did the cocaine. Yeah, like the bear obviously did the cocaine and was eating up people, and they did pretty gory. If you're just looking for one of them slasher films, this is pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, except it's funny. It's got some comedic moments. They do some stupid things and say some stupid stuff, and I caught myself laughing at it.
Did they exaggerate the bear eating the cocaine? Like, was he making a mess?
Oh my god, that bear and its cocaine fix.
His cocaine habit.
It was so fucking great though. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was stupid, and you knew it was stupid, and you were watching thinking like, this is stupid. But as soon as you got out of your head about it being stupid, it was fun. You know, I guess it's like those what are the Sharknado movies or something
like that.
Yeah.
You would put on that level.
No, I bet
higher.
it's higher than that for sure, because I haven't seen any of those.
I mean, most of the movies that we used to watch were stupid. Like Ace Ventura, like that's a real stupid movie. Like he's doing weird stuff the whole time, but you're laughing. You don't care.
And making Well, you know, he made.
We see less and less of those type of movies now. You know, everyone's so like uptight and like, ooh, you can't say this, can't say that. Sometimes you just need a stupid movie, you know, just to make you laugh.
You know, that's what Adam Sandler's his production is all about. That not only doesn't he make cameos in some of the movies that he's produced? Yeah,
like if he's not
go ahead.
If he's not in it, like you're talking about like when he did what did he do? Grandma's Boy. He was in Grandma's Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just a little part. It was just a little like cameo he did for it.
That's the one with the video games?
Yeah.
He was in Grandma's Boy?
Yeah. Yeah, see? You don't even remember. It was a real quick scene where he was just in it for a second.
But he's just a talented man there.
Yeah, and he's been doing it for a long time. You know, to be doing that good for that long, you know, it's like they don't give him the credit. They won't give him awards and stuff, but you know, he puts in the work and he's making stuff that people can watch.
Right? Yeah, it's all that counts.
Yep. What other have you seen anything good, Frank, lately? Anything
besides Cocaine Bear?
Number one on the list. Did you see Avatar?
If you really watch, Cocaine Bear is really
you
cool
saw it
movie.
too? You saw it too?
We both saw it.
Oh, you guys saw it together. All right.
Yeah, we saw it this morning.
Oh, you just saw it. Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but all the previews and stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah,
I know
you watch it. It's worth
a watch. Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's all you really want, something you can watch.
What other movies should we talk about? Should we talk about Steven? Talk about the rest of no, wait. Excuse me, I'm not.
What? What's going on?
I went south on that.
You bailed.
I bailed. Must have been the weeds.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I think you were trying to say get back to the wedding. Maybe is that what you were going for?
Like, what were you trying to say? It was a simple question. What else are you watching? I can't answer that right now. It's classified information.
Yeah, finish watching it.
I'll let you know as soon as it's done.
You're watching that Paramount show. I think it's a Showtime show, actually, maybe.
No, you mean Tulsa King.
Oh, you said you're watching Tulsa King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tulsa King. Okay.
Yeah, what was Tulsa King about?
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
So Sylvester Stallone gets out of jail after doing
Talking the mic.
Yeah, he gets out of jail and doing time. He gets out of jail and goes back to New York.
Yeah.
You know, he's a mob, and I guess they oust him and sent to Tulsa, Oklahoma to start there. And basically, when you're getting sent out of New York, you're basically getting kicked out and put in your spot where they don't have to hear from you.
So was he in the witness protection program like that?
That's what he thought he would. That it sounded like that, but it's the how do you say, the mafia is their own with protection.
It's
and
the
they're saying
mafia's version of that.
Yeah, right. And they're just getting rid of him. In other words, they don't want to deal with this guy. You know, like they just put him in his place.
And he's like, "What are you talking about?"
Right. Exactly. But then then it just gets good from there. So it's worth watching the episodes.
Yeah. I heard he was good in that movie. I did hear about that one.
Yeah,
I have to check it out too.
Yeah, I bought into it.
Yeah.
But it's a show or a movie?
Oh, it's a show. It's a seasonal show.
10
episodes. So
it's getting like recognition. Like it's one of those.
I know I heard something about it, but I never looked into it.
Yeah.
No, they say he did pretty good. Like his acting is pretty good in it and stuff. He plays that character pretty well.
Right.
Yeah. That's what I'm hearing.
So he deals in in building up his own. His own pyramid out there. You know what I mean?
He's building his own empire.
There you go.
Yeah.
And
okay,
so
I see where they're going with this.
He's got to deal with everybody.
The hassles and everything.
Well, not just that. He's got to deal with his own kind, with New York, and he got to deal with the bikers. So it gets all over the place. So it's really good.
He's got other gangs and stuff he's got to worry about. And
right.
Yeah.
So it's like all different gangs and mafias send people to Tulsa?
Well, there was some few people that they sent to go get him, but no. The other people he's dealing with out there.
Okay, so it's like the existing Tulsa people.
Right.
Yeah. This new character comes in trying to take over.
What do they say to him? It's like, hey, we're going to send you to Tulsa because we need to start our like presence there.
Yeah, like that, something like that. And
so that's the guys. They don't really care about being in Tulsa.
And you're not going to do anything in Tulsa.
It sounds like they expected him to fail. Right. Yeah. So it was like,
or at least just endlessly try.
Yeah. And it actually starts working.
More like
fail. Okay.
It starts working, and he's like, it's working. Come on, guys.
Now I own Tulsa.
Not only am I picking a baseball bat, but
okay. Yeah. No, that I can see now. So they can do some seasons with this, right? They can go on for a while.
It's going to be another seasons, yeah.
Yeah. So this is a pretty good. All right, I get the concept now. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I mean, we got so many things we're watching.
Oh, not just that. That's the way I focus. Next thing I was going to say is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I have no idea.
Leave them hanging. Always leave them hanging, Frank.
The one I was mentioning was the School Spirits.
Oh, that one, yeah. I just started watching it because just relaxing today,
School Spirits, what is that? It's a ghost?
Yeah, it's about ghosts.
I knew it.
Yeah. So there's this girl, she died at the school. Like she was murdered, like brutally murdered. We don't know because she doesn't remember in her afterlife. But she also meets all the other like people that live in the afterlife who had also passed away at the school throughout the decades that this school's been open.
Yeah.
So like I guess there's people all the way back to like the 60s or something.
Okay.
Maybe even earlier than that.
I was thinking more like the 1770s, but
no. And then you haven't even gotten to spots as like there's other ghosts that are stuck in their loops at the school. Like there's like
they keep replaying their murder.
No, some of them are just stuck like because they can't handle the fact that they're ever living in an afterlife. But there's a small group that has like a like support group set up in the gym every day that they go to.
This is a ghost support group?
It's a ghost support group. It's hilarious.
God.
So it follows this girl like dealing with that kind of stuff, like living the afterlife. Why am I here? Why am I not somewhere else? And the support group that's like, well, we're going to have you figure out, to not dread so much on the life that you used to live and figure out how you can work through your shit and maybe pass on. to the other side, whatever you want to say. And
does anybody ever go?
There is one person that did go from that support group, and that's the first episode. They allude to her saying like, "Oh yeah, that seat's empty. Used to be so and so's."
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
they made it out.
Well, they say that she did make it out. And they don't know.
Yeah,
they just allude to it, so we don't know what happened to her because everyone has a different story of how they died.
Sounds so spooky.
But then you got some people like they said that there was a bus. And the bus driver had swerved or hit something, or somebody hit them, and the bus flew into the school, and it was carrying the band, the marching band, who were on a competition or something in the 80s.
So and they just come in. Dun, 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 dun.
They're constantly outside in the field of the school practicing in a circle for eternity, just because they can't deal with the fact that like they're dead or something. They nothing else to do.
Feel like they need to complete something.
They died with their stuff, and they make a comment in one of the episodes saying like somebody else says it sucks that their such and such player died because he really kept them together in the real world, and he survived. So now they just kind of have no leadership. They're just over there trying to practice like that. There's
so
like
getting worse.
Yeah, there's a hippie that everybody else is like, she's just drugged out all the time or something. But she's weird and she's just disconnected from reality. And she's like, oh no, I never did drugs. I just find it more interesting to see what's going on with everybody else. I look at the passcodes that everyone puts into their phones, and I go on Twitter and Facebook and MySpace because she's been here since the 60s. So she went through all phases of social media.
Oh, wow.
And she's like, and Vine. I feel like TikTok is the new Vine, but like, whatever happened to Vine? And the other girl's like, I don't know, actually.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's fun, but it's more of a drama because it focuses really on her trying to figure out what happened to her. And there's all these suspects in her murder, from like teachers to friends to
and she
boyfriend.
Got murdered in the 60s.
Well, the girl we're following got murdered in present time.
Oh, okay.
The hippie girl, we don't know how she died, but she died in the 60s. There's another guy from the 90s who died because he was getting bullied and stuff at the school, but he died from eating French fries that the school used peanut oil to cook, and he's allergic to nuts. So he died that way. And there's another like football player who was killed like during practice or something, or he got hit by something or broke his neck, and like they dedicated the field to him.
Did you have anything crazy like that happen at your school?
Someone die at the school?
Like just like
crazy accident or something?
Showed up and like,
oh man, there's always something happening in that school.
Well, you tell us, because like you went to high school
back in the days.
In what year? Like the 80s?
I was there from 79 to 81. That's Wilson High School in Los Angeles.
Yeah, you were there during like all the when Star Wars came out and shit.
Oh, Star Wars. Yeah, 1976. Still, my brother was a big old Star Wars fan, and we all went to Star Wars. I mean,
you guys, so you waited in line to see the like showing? Did you guys know?
Were there even lines back then? Like when the first one came out, was there lines for it?
They have video.
There was lines.
Yeah. They have video.
It was the biggest thing because of all those, just like no one jumped into the future like that.
Yeah,
except for
special effects and stuff.
And this is a lot more. They had more to give in this movie as far as
than they would have in the Star Trek that came a decade before them.
Well, it was so futuristic. A lot of the stuff that George Lucas did had never been done at the time.
Right. So everything was brand new. Everything was brand new.
I mean, I still look at that movie and thinking about like all the puppeteering and everything that they did to make all the ships and whatnot in space, and it still is pretty crazy to think like, damn, that thing is like miniature.
Yeah.
Miniature planes, the way that they get like the shots on them and everything. It's like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, because you feel like you're riding right behind Luke when he's flying through the crevices of the ship.
Mm-hmm. I guess that was a real intention. I mean, that was genius because they even used it at who had that? Universal Studios, I think, had that ride where you get in there and you're flying around like in space.
Oh, you're talking about Disney.
Yeah. Disney has it, yeah. They have like Space Mountain type thing.
Well, they have...
Space Mountain was there forever.
Well, yeah, but that's how Space Mountain starts. Well, I think that wasn't the original starting, but now it is. And now it's not even Space Mountain. It's like Star Wars themed Space Mountain.
They're changing it over because I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the one where everybody sits in the seat and then you have the screen and then your whole cabin moves around.
Right, there you go.
Yeah. They still have that one. It's
that's Star Tours.
Star Tours, yes. Star Tours, it makes you feel like
that's also at Disneyland, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes you feel, it does a whole scene where you're flying through, and like Star Tours has always been a very popular ride. People love it. And then they just updated it with all the new ships and new scenes.
I used to live out by Disneyland, and we would go to Disneyland like at least once a month. I had friends who worked there. I'd always get in. So I didn't have to pay for my ticket. But I'd get in there, and I always went on Star Tours every single time. And they say, like, oh, you could go on this a billion times, and you're never going to get the same experience. But I always feel like I've seen every single scene.
No, yeah. There's only like 7 different ones or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, there's not an unlimited one. I think that was just like folklore. Like people were like, dude, did you know you could...
I swear it's advertised like that.
Really?
Yeah, because
they were doing that?
That's one of the selling points of the ride is that all these different scenes could be... Because that's why you go from different planets to different planets, and then you always have that, like you were saying, the warp speed type thing through the before you hit the other spot you're on, and they're completely different planets and whatnot, is because they show you they can mix those scenes in with other scenes.
Oh, is that what they're talking about then?
Going on like, Naboo, and then you go somewhere else, or you hit...
So the combinations.
Yes, because of the different combinations.
Okay.
You're supposed to never see the same thing. But I feel like I've seen all of them, so it feels like, maybe they're not in the same order, but I've seen this already.
You know what's coming. We're churned. And,
but I don't know. Maybe it's special for people who like only go there once a year or once every couple of years or something.
Well, that's how you can afford. I mean,
I know
prices are crazy.
I can't go to Disneyland nowadays.
You were telling us. So what did you see in high school?
What happened in high school? So traumatic for this whole school.
What's one of the crazier things you saw happen?
I mean, I couldn't even tell you. There's so many things that could. I mean, what do you want to know? Happy stuff, or just like, hey, you want to hear what happened?
what comes to mind?
Well, let's see. When I was there, I think I was probably a freshman.
Yeah,
and I had to stay up at, I stayed after school because I was a gymnast. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was a gymnastics.
Tumbling.
So yeah, everything. When one day, my younger brother was walking home, and I guess it was one of his friends walking in front of him, about maybe 20 feet in front. So he's walking behind, and he sees the other guy, an Asian guy, jump out of the side of a house, and come right behind him, and shot him 5 times in the back of the head. Dropped him dead right there. But it was probably like maybe 400 feet from the school. And he shot him because the guy that he shot, sold him a bag of weed that was nothing but oregano in it. So he died for selling oregano. Shit. Crazy people shooting people for just oregano
for a bag.
But, yeah, I mean, and then there was another time where, and these things make it in the news. That guy ended up, locking himself up in the house, and I guess the neighborhood wanted to bring him out and hang him out there in the street. Yeah. I think the cops had to put a barricade just to get him out of there. The way it was, the way I heard it. And
yeah, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah. And then there was one time when a car came down the hill and plowed like maybe 15 people. Wow. The school's on top of the hill, and there's 2 ways to go down. Let's just go down the hill on the street. But a lot of the kids end up walking the street and crossing the street. Yeah. Okay, and this probably person was a rookie driver. I don't know what was wrong with this person, but ended up not pressing the brake, but I think the accelerator, and he plowed into 15 kids. One of them got killed, a few broken legs and stuff like that.
Yeah, got thrown.
Yeah.
Oh my God, those are some Wild West days back then.
When you said plowed, I thought he did it on purpose, but now you're saying so they were going through the crosswalk.
There was no, actually the kid, okay, you're coming down the hill. Down the hill. There's a crosswalk down there. Yeah. At the end, which is maybe 200 feet down the hill, so down the street, right?
Yeah.
And the street is steep.
Yeah.
Okay. So the person just ended up either giving the gas.
Yeah.
And these kids, they don't go down and wait till the crosswalk. They just start crossing wherever they want.
Crossing.
So they're just like taking them out one by one. It was like that. It wasn't more like a whole bunch at one time. It was like 3 here, 5.
Dude, that's even worse.
That definitely
hitting the grass and you're walking the
so
sidewalk
worse.
and you got hit again. So that was weird. And then of course,
you don't think they did it on purpose?
no, from understand, it was just total dumb shit. It was just don't know how to drive.
Man, that sounds like, how bad. You're like, oh, I'm still doing it. Oh, I'm hitting another one. Oh,
Exactly.
Why are all these kids here?
why can't I stop hitting kids?
And it's like, I don't like that one. But
Yeah, that's what I feel like. I feel like he was like, oh, these kids keep crossing the street and then just like plow through them. Yeah, I could see that
No,
anger.
I feel like this is even worse.
I think it was after I had already had graduated, or that year. No, I think it was the year I was up there. President Carter landed on our football field. Stayed with one of the neighbors. Yeah, that was weird.
From a
Wait,
helicopter?
what?
Yeah, well, the vice president. Yeah, the president had to land in a helicopter.
Wow.
Somewhere secured, not being, what I mean. So they landed him on the football field. And he ended up staying with one of the council people from the community or whatever. That was one, and who else? Rocky 3 was filmed. Parts of it was filmed up there. But I heard it didn't make the cuts. So, I know it didn't make the cuts. I didn't recognize any of the.
Yeah, but they did film some stuff they didn't use.
There was things filmed up there, not high school.
That's interesting.
And then there was
what high school is it again?
Wilson, L.A. Wilson High School, L.A.
Woodrow
Wilson, L.A.
Woodrow
Wilson
in
High
Los Angeles.
School in Los Angeles.
Right, and then there was one time where, the high school's not only on top of the hill.
Yeah, you gotta talk.
The high school's not only on top of the hill, but the high school is 5 stories on top of the hill.
It's built like a building.
Right.
Wow.
So
okay.
it's brand new. It was built back and opened up in 1970. And so if you look at a building, how would I describe that building? You could look at it and you come down. There's like a balcony where you turn around and go down the next flight of stairs. Go down to the second. So everyone kind of had like a little balcony to it, right?
Yeah.
And it was like I would say maybe 8 inches wide, and it had a metal rail, 4 inches metal rail.
Okay.
Or 3 inch, right? Yeah. Well, I guess one guy decided to do some PCP and jumped on top of there and started walking on it.
Just walking on the
second
railing?
story. Yeah, he was in the lunch area. So the lunch area had a rail and it was open. So this guy's just walking on it. He never fell off, to believe it or not. But he was really like out of it.
Uh-huh.
He was high, really high. I don't know what drug he was using, but he was out there. So they finally got it out. So and then I guess within about 6 months later, they had put up gates, so it looks now more like a prison.
Oh my God.
So he lost the beauty of that school, and more like
So all it takes is one person to mess it up.
Yeah, it wasn't 6 months later, but yeah, it was down there.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. But so the school's still there, right?
Oh yeah, that school's there.
Have you drove by it recently, or?
I drove out about a year ago, and they added all kinds of bungalows and stuff.
Built next to it. Did they expand?
Probably way more kids now.
I think it's overcrowded.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
schools are always overcrowded.
Because those parts that they build the bungalows used to be the parking fields.
So they had to take the parking.
You got less parking now, and you got more buildings to
and
walk
more
to.
kids.
Yeah.
So it's probably expensive to park at the school or something. They probably charge, right? If you want to park.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, they didn't charge. Well, actually, I do think they charged you like a fee for the parking permit.
They did. They charged us.
Yeah. Oh, no, we didn't get charged. Like when I went to high school, no, I didn't get charged.
I think that came later.
Now.
Yeah,
that's when everybody started, like everybody can afford to buy a kid a car or something.
Yeah, these kids would
Not
come.
that my parents could afford to buy
Well,
me a car,
when people just be running over kids as they're walking home, you kind of just want them to have a car.
Yeah. But how about your kid just running people over?
Oh, man. They're like, hey, Johnny just hit like a bunch of dudes.
Johnny just shot somebody in the head. What's up?
Man.
Just like, but I guess, it happens to a lot of schools in those areas.
Yeah, my mom went to Roosevelt.
A rivalry school, huh?
Oh, was that the rivalry?
No, it wasn't our rivalry. That was Roosevelt was the rivals with Garfield High School, and Roosevelt. They're both in East LA.
Yep.
I was in the Northeast LA.
Oh,
So not very LA, but
you knew the schools.
yeah, those two are rival. Oh no, it's nationally famous. You guys see the games? They probably even have it live. I mean, on TV, nationally vised now, or 3 states. How do you say watch it, because that the stadium sells out, and I think they moved it over. I think they're moving it in
that one game.
That one game a year.
Wow.
And I think this time they moved it. I don't want to be quoted on this, but it was at the Coliseum, Los Angeles Coliseum.
Yeah, that's a big arena.
Right, because that's a big game, high school game.
Wow.
And it's a big rivalry game, and it's a fun game to go see.
Yeah, there's different energy to high school football.
Right.
Yeah, it feels like everyone kind of
family. It's more like a family event.
They're invested.
Yeah.
Because you got somebody out there, somebody out there,
Right.
Yeah. Friday nights, man, that's all we did, play football. And people they go crazy. We went undefeated my senior year.
The games are more entertaining too.
Yeah, they're entertaining because the game is a little bit slower because it's not super NFL crazy guys, but the guys that are really good in high school stand out because they're just like at another level. It's like these men playing with boys. It's like we had a guy that was like game changer too. He was super fast. He played offense and defense because he was so fast.
Yeah, we had a few guys like that.
Yeah.
You said you had won. You went 12 games in a row?
Yeah. Well, no, we went undefeated and then lost in the second round of the playoffs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
The undefeated season, and then we won our first playoff game and then lost the second one. Yeah, it sucked.
No, it's weird, but our high school. When I was there too, I was also a Yale leader. But we were undefeated for 4 years.
Wow.
We had a famous quarterback called Ron Kusha. Was really good, but he was only like 5'8".
Wow.
5'9". So
little guy.
Yeah, he went to Yale, and that was it. We would attract other athletes from other high schools, so they would have to come to our area. That's, I think, started a lot of it too, when people start changing addresses and stuff. So. Yeah. But our high school was pretty well known for a lot of sports.
Yeah. So those big schools too. I mean,
it wasn't that big, but it was like it was actually, it was more of a Hispanic school than anything. That's what made it even more.
Just some good athletes around there.
I mean, I competed with the guys from the '84 Olympics, with Mitch Gaylord, Tim Daggett. It was those guys. And
wait, so what did you do? You did like Pella bars, or
I've been all around, so I did all 6 events.
Did you do like high jump? Did you do any track stuff?
No, I didn't do track.
No, just gymnastics.
Gymnastics, and I worked out with the wrestlers.
Why don't you tell us how you got into gymnastics? Because I feel like that's not normally something that people think about in high school, especially nowadays. I don't think they have a lot of gymnastics as an option.
Man, are you kidding me? Gymnastics is one of the biggest money putting your kids in. I mean, it costs a lot of money.
Yeah,
Now it's not like when I started. See, when I started, I was one of those. I was and El Sereno is a very small little. It's all Hispanic, not blue collar whatsoever. So when I was when I got to junior high school, 7th grade, they had the summer school program, which I decided to go to summer school, and they had like you could pick up 3 events to do. And so my first year, so I decided to go track, basketball, and I think it was football, flag football. They had flag football then. So then next thing you know, one of the girls called me over to one of the lines that said gymnastics only, and I was only talking to her for a few minutes. Well, then they announced they closed the line, so I ended up staying in that line because I couldn't get back to my original line anymore.
Oh no!
So I ended up being like 1 out of 32 girls or something like that. 32 girls and me. one guy.
Because you got in the wrong line.
Right. So, right away, you know, it was right away. They look at you like, oh, what a faggot.
You didn't know what was going on? You were like,
No, I kind of like, yeah, you know, the couple of girls egging me on to stick around. And I was kind of like, you know, I like basketball. I like, you know, track and field. And you know, I probably would have been in track and field. And so I said, okay. So I said, okay. So yeah. So then I got a little bit of attention there. Next thing you know, what happened is that it take me like a minute to learn a tumble or something. Tumble or whatever.
Yeah,
cartwheel. It was like, it took them longer. And I was more of a, more natural. I was just natural. So then the high school coach discovered me that summer. And next thing you know, they ended up asking me to go to the high school to go work out with a team up there.
Were you always flexible, like as a kid?
Yeah. I guess I was because I was also a folklorico dancer. I was a Mexican dancer.
Yeah, I did that.
And my mom. So when I was signed up to one of those classes, I ended up my coach or my dance teacher it was probably like probably 45 minutes to an hour of ballet, of torture, I call it.
Just stretching.
Just stretching.
Oh, so you guys stretch you guys out.
Hell, he came in on a split. That's where I learned my split, because I remember I was learning my split probably maybe about 8 inches off the ground, maybe. I remember she'd come up and push down on my thigh and on my hamstring and just force it down there. Shit.
It was torture.
It just brought me memories.
She was stretching you.
Right.
Yeah, because kids are flexible.
Right. So next thing you know, I did a lot of, there was a lot of ballet in there, and then the dancing. And I left when I was 13 because I was working out, because it was a professional company, actually. It was a professional dance company. Right.
They were doing shows and stuff.
They traveled all over the country and all over the world. And because she's a very famous teacher. And so I was one of her students. And at 13, I was already working out with the top, the ones that travel.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm ready to go travel. I want to, that's how ready I was. And she knows it. Thing is, I had to be 16 or I don't know what, back then.
Whatever the rules were.
Whatever the rules were, to travel, by yourself, or I don't know what.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if that's the case. I really don't know why I didn't go, but I did remember saying, you know what, I'm done with this shit. I love gymnastics better now. So, and I was only like 6 months into gymnastics. I just quit.
So you found something that you liked.
I loved it, so I quit.
Yeah. Did you ever do the dancing with the machetes and like?
No. I was a folklorico dancer, man. I was
straight folklorico, because we did both. We did that, and we did we were throwing it back and forth to each other.
Wouldn't that be like more Aztec Indian dancing? Yeah, we did that too. But I don't remember throwing any. I don't remember throwing anything.
No. You guys didn't pass it to each other like that?
No.
Okay, yeah, maybe ours was just crazier. I don't know. They had. I was only 12 or 13, and I was like clanking them, and between the leg, like they weren't sharp. Like it wasn't a sharpened like sword, but if it stuck you, it could hurt, But we were throwing it and we were catching it. Like I was doing that, and I don't know. I just thought it was part of the whole show. We would it would be like an ending. We would kind of end with that.
In case someone got hurt.
Yeah, right if they didn't like all the dancing with the ladies and stuff, we're like, all right, we're gonna end with this. Like, and we started banging them, and there'd be like a row of 3 guys on this side, 3 guys on that side, and we were just doing it back and forth. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's I don't remember doing something like that, but that's pretty cool. I have seen the dance that you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I guess the adults get to do that more.
Yeah.
And then it's probably totally different class from what the one I was probably doing.
Yeah, you guys seem more like traditional. A bigger company.
Well, it was big. They did all kinds of dances.
Yeah.
So when they got to travel, I said, heck, I'm not going to go back. Because they had to travel, and I ended up having to stay there with a different teacher. And
But you like the gymnastics you started getting, and they're like, whoa, this dude's flexible. Because you came in with already the flexibility, which is probably huge.
Right.
And then you could choreograph, you know how to like do a sequence of things in a row.
Right.
Yeah, they teach you all that kind of stuff. Like,
yeah, I remember that was probably like maybe a year into it. No. Yeah, maybe 6 months.
Yeah.
And they had an invitational.
That was what you wanted to do.
It was like a 15-year-old invitational competition.
So you went to competition after 6 months?
Yeah, my coach took me.
They were like, "You're ready."
Yeah, and there probably wasn't a lot of dudes, right? You were
like the shitload of dudes
at the competition.
Yeah,
I'm saying before your like.
But
group.
in your specific.
Let me explain. When I was doing it, okay, I was like I said, I was taught by the public institute.
By the public school systems.
Right. I didn't get taught by private schools and the best coaches and all that.
Right.
So when I competed and I got to, and it really kind of like, you could see a lot of people like, who the heck was this guy? And
he came out of nowhere.
I came out of nowhere and just started kicking butt. By the 10th grade, I won the 10th grade invitationals and competition.
What were you doing at the competition?
I mean, rings, vaulting, floor, high bar, parallel bars.
Oh shit! You did everything.
Yeah, I was doing all kinds.
Did you do that one where you have to run full speed and then you
that's the vaulting. Yeah. I was doing that. I was doing a layout with a full twist or a sukahara.
I know I've seen pictures of you like on the rings, like and pointing the toes out like an L. Or something.
Shit! You did the
whole T.
Yeah, the T, right?
Cross,
cross.
You have to hold your feet super tight, like pointing down, right? And then
that was one of my things. Is I always like. No matter what, just try to stay as clean and tight as possible.
That's what they're judging you on.
They're looking for form. And if you go up there in the handstand throwing your knees are bent, then that's a deduction,
Everything's a deduction.
Everything's a deduction. But what they do now
is... a little hop when you land, if you extra
back then,
step.
Yeah, that was big time,
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of things like that. Pommel horse... back then, I think I was only 2 guys in high school doing the Thomas Flares. That was named after 3 years after, or actually, it was named with Kirk Thomas. And I think he did it back they named it after him probably
that was like
1978, 79, maybe.
He invented that move?
He didn't invent it, but he was the first one to, show it off in international competition. Once you do the move in international competition, even though you didn't invent it, but you stole it,
you made it popular.
Whoever did it in international competition, it would be named after you.
That's their move.
Right. Like the Gaylord 1, the Gaylord 2. Those are flips in a high bar where you do flips in the air and then catch the bar again. That was back in 84. So a lot of the moves, like the Thomas Flares, is where you do the pommels and you split your legs open and you start doing like a helicopter move.
Like this?
Yeah. Okay, they do that a lot.
Yeah, that's a common move now.
Yeah, I was one of 2 guys. Actually, I don't remember the other guy doing it on pommel horse. I know that they was just doing the the flares.
Yeah.
But I was doing the flares on the pommel horse, and there was only 2 guys in high school that did that. And that was back in 1981. But the guy who did it first that I know of and, would never get recognized for that was Miguel. I can't remember his last name. But he was out of Garfield High School.
Yeah.
The Rebels from your mom's high school.
Okay.
Roosevelt. He invented that move back in 1976.
You saw him do it first.
Yeah.
And you were like, I'm going to try that.
I'm going to learn how to do that. And what happened is I picked up on it by the time I was I started doing it as a junior.
Yeah.
I started working on it in the summertime between my senior year. And I remember people asking, how the hell I did it? I just said, well, I just started just swinging it up and just.
It's almost like a breakdancing. It's like a breakdancing move.
That's exactly what it is, because I can't do breakdancing.
But you could do
it if you're on top of those bars.
I bet you if you spent like back then, if you spent like a day with a breakdancer, he would have been like, you just put your hands here, and then you're like, oh, okay, and then you would already have the strength to pick your legs up.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I see all these kids now that just do natural. They're just like, hey, you can see some of them doing the flares all the time, breakdancing. They're using the moves as a gymnast would.
Yeah.
They took it from the gymnast when they're doing the breakdancing. I started seeing that happening.
And it's going back and forth, and they're taking stuff from each other.
Right.
Yeah. They have like world competitions on like ESPN. I've seen it of just breakdancing.
Breakdancing, yeah, I've seen it too.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's fun to watch.
Dude, those guys are crazy, man. Their strength is ridiculous. I mean, holding their whole body weight with one arm
or fingers.
Yeah, or neck. You know, like they're just holding their head up.
That's crazy. Yeah, because I've heard people break their necks.
Oh yeah, it can happen. I mean, but these guys, I mean, the breakdancers usually have a lot of strength. You know, and they're practicing this stuff, and I think they added it to the Olympics, right? Breakdancing is in the Olympics now.
It shouldn't be a sport like that.
You don't think so?
No,
they got some weird ones in Olympics though. Like, you know, they got some ones that are like, really, you know, like, are we really just like some weird dance ones?
They want to make a dart throwing Olympic. Oh, is it already?
I don't know.
Dart throwing.
I feel like
I know it's a lot of dart throwing. Going, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
You don't touch my darts.
I work hard on my arm.
I know I've seen some professional dart throwing.
Oh no, there is professional dart throwing. I'm just saying
they want to put it in the
Olympics.
Yeah, we're talking about Olympic.
I mean, why not? Didn't most of the stuff that starts in the Olympics start off as just like two people like just putting themselves at each other for it?
I mean, they still do the luge.
I mean, this is something with your body. If it's supposed to be what you build your body, okay? You work out.
Like a competition.
You got to work out to ride a horse. You got to work out to do a horse.
What about the shooting?
You got to work out. Okay, that is, how do you say, that I don't like too much, but they do it anyway because it's endurance. You're not just shooting. You're shooting from different areas after let's say you run 5 miles and then take 5 shots with a gun without, you know.
So why don't we add that to darts? Will that make it more acceptable? It's like you got to throw a dart from like,
probably just,
10 feet away, and then you also have to dodge underneath like a barista holding like a beer or something. I don't know.
Okay, like I'll tell you what. Have you guys seen tag? Have you seen guys doing that tag competition?
Oh, yeah. Like,
it gets intense.
Yeah, but they put the obstacles.
Now, see,
that's what I'm saying.
That's physical.
You like that. They should add that.
Can you do that?
I can't jump through.
Can you chase him? Can you chase him?
They flip around the bars.
I mean, we can get as far as the couch, and then, like, I'm done. I'm like, that's cool. Just...
I'm all crawling on my hands and like going under the bar real slow.
It's got to be more, intense. When I look at Olympics, I look at it as a body, as a physical body, brain. I say, just like gymnastics that takes out parts of your body, like running track,
strength, endurance.
You're trying to get the fastest speed you can. You're trying to break a record, fastest speed.
Yeah.
What are you going to break with dart throwing? You're gonna beat that guy. That's all you're gonna do. Wrestling, that's physical. That's what get that one championship.
You might break a nail throwing darts. I don't know. That's about it. You're gonna break much with dart throwing. They added surfing. They had surfing in this past Olympics. So, and they have the skateboarding too.
See, for a long time, I don't remember how many sports they added. I mean, between. I guess I would say since 1984 or 1980, I would say.
They're getting rid of some. They got rid of softball.
Because nobody wasn't getting any attention, probably, or not enough money.
I think the competition was going down. They didn't have enough people involved,
like I'm saying, it's United States, softball is big. But how big is it in, India, or how big is it, what I mean? You know what I mean?
That's a fair point. I guess you need a competition that like the majority of the world.
Well, look at Jamaica's bobsled team.
Hey man,
they did it.
They proved it can be done.
Huh?
And they did it.
Well, yeah. Now they got to keep doing it.
Yeah,
and how many times they went back?
They had the coach, John Candy, and he took them far. You know, he took these Olympic sprinters and he turned them into bobsledders.
Were they sprinters? And
Yeah.
then they became bobsledders?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they all missed out on making the cut for the Olympics. And he took the best runners.
Because they wanted to be in there.
They wanted to be in the Olympics, but they couldn't get in through running.
I think
So
one of the runners wanted
it is based on a true story.
I gotta go watch that story. Wasn't it a Disney movie?
Yeah, it's a Disney movie for sure, man.
John Candy? No. What was it?
Yeah, it was Disney.
It was a Disney
It's
movie.
on Disney Plus. Yeah. Cool Runnings.
Yeah, Cool Runnings. That's
Yeah,
what it was
man.
called.
Come on,
Cool Runnings.
Yeah, man.
Was that like a 90s
I watched
thing?
that movie 1,000 times, man.
I feel
As
like
a
I
kid.
must have as well, but
John Candy.
Yeah, he was a coach.
Oh, I like
He was a disgrace coach. He was an Olympic coach for the USA, and in one of his competitions, he added weights to the
There you
front
go.
of the
There you
sled,
go. Yeah.
and that's a huge no-no. You know, that's cheating. That's unforgivable. You know, you don't do that.
Oh, yeah, but
You
we forgive
So
everything.
he was disgraced. He couldn't coach on the American teams anymore. So he went to Jamaica and actually found these guys and was like, I'm going to start my own
Is
team.
that what it was?
Yeah,
And,
Yeah.
and Cool Runnings, is it like that too?
that's what Cool Running is.
I thought,
it's based on that.
okay.
No, the
It's been
real-
a while since I've seen it.
I don't know. I don't
And
know.
I think you're right. But I thought it was one of those guys that really wanted to get in the Olympics but couldn't. Or what you said, so he tried to. No, he tried
Three
to
of the, in the
boxing
movie,
was-
three of them are sprinting at the Olympic trials in Jamaica, and they all get tangled up
Right.
and trip each other, so they all didn't make the cut. And these guys are fast. And then the fourth guy is like the comic relief. So I don't know he wasn't even a sprinter. I don't know. They just found he was just like a funny.
We need a fourth. Where's our Ringo Starr?
Well, actually, this-
He's got to be kind of funny too, and eccentric.
Right.
Yeah. So he wasn't a sprinter at all, but you know, for the movie. But I don't know the real story. The real story, probably all four of them were sprinters. That makes more sense.
Well, and then the United States tried that.
They tried to go to Jamaica, and then
No, they got a football player. I think it was Herschel Walker.
to do
out
bobsledding.
Bobsledding.
Yeah, they have.
I think there was about. I don't know how many of those guys were athletes in that. I mean, I know they're all athletes, but already football player besides Herschel
this is
Walker.
a real thing, and even in the United States, they have Olympic sprinters that go to bobsledding. Like they were that good in sprinting, and they'll go to bobsledding. So I don't know if the Cool Running started the trend.
I'm pretty sure they did.
If they could do it, anybody could do it.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, actually, you do need to really run fast.
Because
Get a good
We
push.
joked around that so much. Where do they have snow in Jamaica? Yeah.
The Jamaican bobsled team.
Right?
Yeah,
I remember me and a friend in high school were thinking like, you know what we could try to do? Let's find like the one Olympic team that we can easily dominate or at least try to get into.
Yeah, so you guys
know.
would actually just like try to like find.
We started looking at it and we found like I think the Olympic sport we thought that both of us could probably get a handle on. I think it was handball.
There's some probably crazy handball players though, man.
Yeah, that's what we thought, and then we were like, oh, we got that. We can do handball. And we went to go try to check it out. It gets intense.
Dude, I know, man.
It gets intense.
Dude,
Yeah.
what was that? Okay. True story. There was a
Okay.
boxer. I just saw a movie about that.
Creed?
God, no, better. I haven't seen Creed yet, and I'm not in a rush to see Creed.
What? You don't like the Creeds?
I don't like the way they did that. They transferred the Sylvester Stallone, and then all of a sudden Sylvester's training this guy Creed, and then all of a sudden they killed off Sylvester Stallone.
Well, yeah, there's
was
a
I think that
weird
was the
thing
point.
going.
And even he came out and said, "Well, what the heck?" Because supposedly somebody.
Well, he
bought the
doesn't own the
production.
rights to Rocky. Somehow it got like in the hands of somebody else. So
Right.
he's all mad. I was just reading a news article about it. I didn't know this. So he's like in like dispute with this guy like that has the rights to Rocky and all this and
Right.
yeah, it's a whole thing.
Right. Because he didn't even get a not even a cameo if he was going to die in the last movie or whatever. But then again, it's Rocky. And back when we were watching the third one, we were already counting.
So you were around for the first one.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Did you go to the theater and watch that one too?
That's
that was another one?
Back then, you had to watch everything. You had to go to the theater.
Yeah.
I think Poltergeist, The Exorcist. Oh, shit. We saw The Exorcist. I remember we had to walk home and, it was dark.
Something's going to come out.
Like probably maybe 12 years old, he's 13 maybe. We're walking. I mean, I don't know about kids now.
Do you remember being in the theater?
Scared at all. Huh?
Did anybody freak out in the theater? Because I heard stories of like people like running out, like.
I've heard stories if you watch this movie that you would be dead in 3 years.
Yeah,
The Exorcist was one of them. I think within a year, and it was weird. A lot of things they said when the casting was happening, like Blair, whatever that girl that played the main part.
Yeah,
I think there was like 2 or 3 deaths in that movie. It was weird how they died, the crews or whatever they were.
Part of the crew died,
or something like that.
Afterwards.
Yeah, you know how they always come out with
something
stuff
about like the director's dog kept dying or something.
What?
He kept going back to life.
Dogs that died.
Came back to life and died again.
I don't know. I don't know.
He died, came back, and
there
then
was
died
like
again.
accidents to pets.
He came
pets
back
were
again,
dying.
and then once again died again. Like, why does this
That was a
dog
lot that
keep
was
dying?
Yeah. Now, see, those movies I like watching.
But you said you
Poltergeist.
were watching The Exorcist at 12 years old, and you got scared of the dark.
No. I don't get scared of the dark. No.
So what happened when you were walking home? Was there more to that, or was that it?
See, you're walking home, and you're not really too scared because it is you're walking in the ghetto, right? You're walking in your own, But when you're getting home and there's nothing there but just darkness, no
Street lights and nothing. Yeah,
only one light per block, right?
And you got a section that's dark.
And your house looks worse than the Addams family's home. When you look at my house, it had like lava rocks, it had iron gates, like with a pointy little triangle pickers on it, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you have to walk through like bushes and trees, and the door
Just all the overgrown.
The door's not in the front where you can
foliage.
see it from the street. It's more to the side because they moved the door to the side, and you have to walk to the side where there's just nothing but darkness.
Yeah.
Okay. And you get to the door, and you're 12. And you ran in from your friend's house who lives 2 houses out because there's 3 of us lived. He in one side of the street. I lived on one other side of the street, and he lived in the corner part. So at 3, we break away and go to our house.
Yeah.
By the time we get to our door, we should be all getting in at the same time, right? Except my door was locked.
Oh shit!
And nobody was home.
Oh shit!
And nobody was home to open my fucking door. Excuse the door. Yeah, that was kind of a 30-second freakiness.
Yeah, you remember those little moments.
Yeah.
Like you were just running from the corner to get to the door, and then it's locked, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Well, that's Wes Craven, right? He talks about how he came up with Freddy Krueger.
Oh yeah.
He was in an apartment at the time. He lived with his parents or whatever, and he was like, I don't know, 7 or 8 or something. And there was a guy walking, on the sidewalk. And he, Wes was looking out the window, and the guy was just standing there staring at him. And he was like, he's kind of faded into the back, of the room, where it's darker. And kind of got away from the window because he was weirded out. This guy just staring, like dead eyes. He had the hat on that Freddy wore and everything.
So Freddy Krueger was like a literal, like just something scary he saw? And he modeled that character off of it?
Yes.
Right.
So then he's in the darkness, right? And he's looking out the window still, but he can't see him anymore. And he comes forward again to see if the guy's still there. And he's still looking straight at him. Dude, eye contact never breaks. And then he goes like that. He gives him like a nudge. Like I'm going to do something. And he like jumped back because he's a kid. And
dude, what if this guy was just like, high or something, coked out?
When he looked in his eyes, he just saw that kind of evil.
Scarred him for life.
It imprinted. And he ran to the side where the door is to get inside the apartments. And he freaked out and like got his older brother, and his older brother like got a bat and went outside to try to look for it, and he was gone. They never saw him where he went.
Oh my God.
But yeah, that was like the inception of like that character. He had the hat on. He was older, and he had like that, like just that look in his eyes, like he would murder somebody.
Right. Hey, oh no, it's a different movie. I'm sorry, guys.
Different from
No,
what?
well, because where I live, like every Halloween night, we used to drive to the movie where they film. Was it
Michael Myers' house?
Michael Myers' house over there in South Pasadena.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And I walked in there when Halloween night. Because supposedly if you walked in there, you'd be like happy. They always give you something like, oh, you're going to be cursed. Something's going to happen.
Yeah, something bad.
Bad's going to happen to you within this so many days. I think I took your mom there.
Yeah, we had a good time.
We were dating. I took you there.
You said you want to see something scary, and then you took it to the house.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good. I mean, you can get that like reaction. Like.
Oh yeah, she got a reaction. Everybody, we weren't the only ones. I mean, it looked like a tourist spot.
There was a bunch of people.
Everybody's taking a turn.
Because everybody watched the movie.
In front of it.
Everybody's watching that movie because it came out in theaters.
Okay.
And on that weekend, everybody was driving by that house, and it was abandoned. And then now they moved it. They picked it up. They moved it across the street and refinished it. So it's a historical home now. And besides, the movie was filmed in it. So
yeah. And she never stopped making those movies. She was like, 15, 16?
Oh, we're talking
I'm
about
excited for the new one that's supposed to come out. Or did it already come out?
The main character,
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, there you go.
Curtis.
Yeah, so young and everything.
I think she finally said this was it. Like she's not gonna do.
Well, yeah,
because she is part of the longest running movie collection.
Oh yeah, she's Scream Queen.
Well, she is, right? She comes from acting royalty.
Yes, that's right.
Her parents.
She's Jamie Lee Curtis. Her father is what's her father?
Ben Curtis, something like that, right? It's
I
very
forget
famous.
what his name is.
But anyway,
But I remember looking it up before too.
all right. Look it up. See if we can figure
I'm
it out by
doing
the
it.
time.
I can see his face. I just can't say
Donald,
No.
Jerry, Louis.
Well, it don't matter right this
Tony
second.
Curtis.
Tony Curtis. That's
There we go.
right.
I would have
And
eventually got to it.
Janet Leigh.
Yeah, Janet Lee Curtis.
So Lee Curtis.
Janet
Okay.
Lee. No, is it? Yeah.
It's
Jamie
spelled
Lee Curtis.
Leigh for her mother.
Oh, okay. So maybe they changed the spelling.
Yeah, Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh.
Was she an actress?
She was an actress. She was born in the 20s. Late 20s.
Yeah, and then I watched, like, when I watched that movie or whatever, when I watch it. Then when I went by, in the house and everything, I remember just thinking, boy, they filmed all this in this little house,
Yeah.
when you think about it. But in the movie, those rooms are huge and the hallways are long. This house is probably maybe 800, 900 square feet.
Small
Little
little
tiny
house.
house, yeah.
Yeah, the way the movies can make it look, they can make it. They can make these,
Oh, you had all kinds of stuff. The basement, the torture room. What else?
Oh yeah, that's a crazy movie, man. They even went to space. Come on.
Oh yeah.
Remember it was Jason versus Michael Myers.
Oh,
whatever.
yeah. See, that's getting
I thought it
way
was
out
like
of-
Jason X in space.
Oh, maybe that's what it was, and it was like Freddy versus Jason.
And then it was Freddy versus Jason.
That's what it was. Yeah.
But yeah.
It was weird when they started like having the bad guys fight each other. I was like, what are we doing here?
Well, the space one was weird because they made Jason into like some kind of cyborg or something.
What? I don't remember.
Oh,
No,
wow, are you kidding me?
Because he was like frozen in space or some shit. And they brought him in, he defrosted, but like the computer fixed him up and replaced some of his body parts with like metal and shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Ah, shit.
So it was pretty crazy to have Jason in a spaceship
Right.
just killing people.
Cyborg Jason.
A cyborg Jason, like,
Yeah.
his hockey mask was all metal.
Mm.
And I think it was like half of it imprinted into his face or
Oh
something.
shit.
Okay.
Yeah. Like it was attached there.
That's crazy.
Right.
Dude, what are we at right now?
Or 113.
All right.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you feel about this, Frank?
Did you enjoy your first podcast?
Yeah, it was actually cool.
Yeah, we found some
It's a good
stuff
time.
out, man.
Well, it's like,
You got some more stories, I'm sure.
there's other stories, but
Yeah. No, we got a gymnastics background. That was pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do.
It's cool.
I
Yeah.
also taught gymnastics for 20 years after
Oh,
that.
after that.
Well,
Yeah,
during
I
that time too, but
Wow.
no
Okay.
comment.
Yeah. We'll have to get into that next time you come on,
Yeah.
man.
Oh yeah, pleasure for having you guys here.
Well, thank you. Thank
Let me be here.
Frank.
No, that's perfect.
A pleasure for you guys to let me be here.
Oh, yeah. Our
There we go.
pleasure.
There we go. All right, man.
All right. Well, this has been another great episode of Digital Cortex. Again, my name is Steven, special guest Frank the Tank, and of course, Random Styles. And that's about it.
Later.